This mini seminar is going to be about function keys. The function keys at the top of your computer keyboard and what they do. There are 12 function keys on most computer keyboards, and I will go through what each one does. Before I do, let me warn you that the answer to what does function key blank do, the answer is it depends, because it depends on what program you were running at the time and what you were doing with that program at the time that you typed that function key. So we'll start with F1. F1 brings up help in most programs. I'm now in Microsoft Word, where I am filling out this document as I go through the function keys. And if I now type F1 while I'm in Microsoft Word, the help, word help, comes up. And I can type something about word help in here and click search, and it will give me an answer like function keys. Search results for function keys, undo, redo, or repeat an action, etc. Keyboard shortcuts for Microsoft Word in Windows. That's an example of F1. Of course, if I am over in Google Chrome, my default browser, and I type F1, I get Google Chrome help, and I can describe my issue and get Google Chrome's answer. Function key 2, F2, allows you to rename a selected file or a folder. Now, in this particular case, I don't see a selected file or a folder, and even if I select some portion of text here and type F2, nothing happens. But if I go over here to File Explorer and click on Documents, and then click on Camtasia 3, which is where I am recording this video, if I now type F2, you see that the name of the folder is highlighted, and if I started typing, it would totally change this name of this folder. If I double click on that folder and come to this folder here and double click, which is function keys, which is where I am recording this video, and I double click on that, I find the first recording that I just made. And if I select that and type F2, it brings up the name that I gave that first recording. If I don't have anything in particular selected, when I type F2, I'm typing F2, I'm typing F2, nothing happens. So, as I said, it depends. F3 opens a search feature for the active program, if there is one. I'm right now in Microsoft Word, and when I type F3, nothing happens. However, if I go over to Google Chrome and pull up my email site and type F3, look up here when I type F3. Aha, a box opens. And if I type NEXT in this box, capital N, notice when I type the N, capital N, all the N's on this page showed up. Now if I type a small e, all the NE's on this page show up. X, T, I could go on. I think you see, once again, that it depends. If I go over to File Explorer and click this Documents file and type F3, what do you know? Up in the ribbon, I get over to the Search tab and can then proceed on from that. I think if I type CAMT now, let's see, CAMT. Oh, look, I have all sorts of things that it has found. It's found Camtasia 3 in this folder, which is in Documents somewhere. It's actually, I know that that's inside Camtasia 3 here, which is at the top. So F3 is versatile, and if you want to use it, you're going to have to study what it does in the particular program in which you want to use it. The F4 key works with either the Control key or the Alt key, Control plus F4 or Alt plus F4. I am not going to show you what Alt plus F4 does because Alt plus F4 closes the active window and also shuts down your computer. And I don't want to do that while I'm in the midst of recording this video. But I will show you what Control plus F4 does. If you come over here to a web page that I have brought up, and I hold down the Control key and type F4, you will see up here that this disappears, and so does this. Control, and now the F4 key, and that's gone, and that's gone up here, and I'm back to whatever else I had on my browser. The F5 key refreshes the page you are on in an internet browser, like Google Chrome. So we go back to Google Chrome, and let's say that I was looking earlier today at a Motley Fool discussion board, and the last one down here is GSD and Sharp with one answer. And if I press F5, let's see what happens. Aha. Well, it looks like it's still GSD and Sharp with one answer, but I think you saw that that entire page refreshed and went up to the latest that is now on the internet for that page. Let's see if I can try something else. Maybe my email. If I press F5 now, let's see if this refreshes. Aha, yes, loading, 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 loading. I have the same top two messages, but you can see that it reloaded the whole page. The F6 key brings the cursor to the address bar in most internet browsers. For example, here we are in Google Chrome, back at my Motley Fool discussion board. I type F6, and you look up here, F6. Aha, now whatever I type at the moment goes into my address bar, and we would then go there. If I click back down here, we've removed that highlighting. If I go over to Firefox, I also can type F6 and have the address bar and whatever is in it highlighted. F7 brings up spell check and grammar check in Microsoft programs. For example, let us say that I spelled browser, B-R-O-W-N-S-E-R, and then I typed F7. Aha! It highlighted the misspelled word and brought up spelling and grammar checking English in US and allows me to do what I can do in that helpful program. F8 is used to bring up the operating system in your computer in safe mode. I can't demonstrate that, but if you are having problems with your computer and you type or tap F8 while you are starting it, after the computer has been totally shut down, it will start in its safe mode, which allows you to troubleshoot it a lot more easily. F9 is a very good demonstration of the it depends situation. F9 has some specialized functions in Excel, specifically having to do with formulas in Excel. But for most people, it doesn't do anything. For me, it starts every recording session in Camtasia Studio, which I use to make these mini seminars. And I just pressed it to start a recording, and I am very shortly going to press F10, which stops it. F10 in a Microsoft program activates the menu bar. It is the same as typing Alt. F11 shifts to full screen and back again if you're in a browser program. For example, up here, where I am in Google Chrome and we're in a semi-minimized state, if I press F11, while I have that highlighted, it goes to full screen. And if I press F11 again, it goes back to the minimized state. And finally, F12 opens the Save As dialog box in Microsoft applications, like this. Now here is an extra, or as they say, a freebie. When I finished recording the first 10 of these items down through F10, and then came back to my computer a day later, I discovered that my function keys were working exactly the opposite of what they normally do. On my laptop, the function keys, when used by themselves, do what I have described here. I have a key labeled FN just to the left of my Windows key on my laptop. And if you held that key down and typed a function key, it did a whole other set of things that are printed on the key, like raise the volume of your speakers, change the brightness up or down of your screen, and a bunch of other things. I discovered after the first 10 tries at this recording that the function key or the functions were operating as if I were holding the function key down all the time, as if my function key were stuck. Well, after a lot of searching in Google, I discovered that if that ever happens to you, you fix it by holding down the function key and typing the escape key, which reverses the function of your functions.
If you have found this tutorial useful, first type the escape key to make sure that you are out of full screen viewing. Then look below the tutorial and click on the thumbs up button. If you want to receive notifications of new tutorials as soon as they are published on YouTube, click the subscribe button also below the tutorial. Hope you found it helpful.